Tables are really useful for organizing and presenting information. Inserting a table can be done by first selecting the Insert tab on the ribbon. Remember to place the cursor in the document where you want the table to appear. This doesn't matter for me because I'm working in a blank document. Now I'll click the Table button to reveal the options for inserting a table. There are several ways of inserting a table, and I'll show you two. The first is to move the cursor over this grid to choose the number of rows and columns you want in the table. In the document, you can see a preview of what the table will look like. For this example, I'll create a table with 5 rows and 5 columns. Once I've made my selection, all I need to do is click the bottom right-hand square here, and the table will be inserted into the document. I'll just hit Ctrl-Z to undo that. The other way I'm going to show you is only slightly different. With the Insert tab selected, click the Table button, click the Insert Table option, and a small dialog box appears. This allows you to specify the number of columns and rows you'd like to have in your table. For this example, I'll create another table with 5 columns and 5 rows and click OK. As you can see, the table now appears in the document. Now with the table in the document, I can resize it by hovering the cursor over it and then clicking this icon to select the table. Now I can click and drag the bottom right-hand corner to create a different sized table. To resize a cell, just hover the cursor over the line between either the columns or the rows, depending on how you want to resize the cell, until you see the cursor change to this. Now click and drag to make adjustments. You will have noticed that resizing a cell affects the size of the entire row or column. This might not be what you want. If, for example, you wanted a single wide cell across the top of the table, all you need to do is click in the first cell and drag to select the row. Now right-click the selection to bring up an options menu and click the Merge Cells button. This top row is now a single cell. If this cell is for a title, some people like to center align the text. I'll just type in the word title so that you can see the alignment change. Right-click the cell and from the menu, move the cursor over cell alignment. As you can see, there are quite a few options. I'll choose Align Center by clicking it. Formatting text is the same as anywhere else in a document, and I'll assume you already know how to do that. To add a color to a cell, just select the cell or cells you'd like to add the color to, and click the Shading button. You can apply any of the colors on the menu by clicking it, or add a custom color by clicking More Colors and then selecting the Custom tab. Here you can input RGB values to create an exact color. You may wish to change the border line that appears around a cell. You can do this for part or all of the table. Here I'll select the entire table and click the Borders button. The border styles in this list are fairly self-explanatory. For example purposes, I'll choose No Border. The table hasn't disappeared, I've just removed the visible border lines. I'd encourage you to experiment with this until you get the look you want.